Hello, good people. Emmanuel Sani Safali bringing you the Promise Insurance Show. Let me start with this video because I want to paint a picture and raise awareness on the medical insurance space in this country, Uganda. I'm sharing this video because it is something that is relatable. I relate to it because this happened to me in March 2020. I was also taken to Mulago, but I was shocked. But let this story actually just paint for you what I witnessed. Thank you.
Assessment part where accident people are being brought. We have hard life here. Panange patients are just down on the floor, as you can see. Yeah, the doctors are doing their ward rounds. In Piso, yeah. Even the injection is to be bought, even the Panadol and everything. This is tough time here. This is a main hospital with no drugs, nothing at all. Let's drive carefully. Let's be vigilant. We have only one life. Omunaku wakufa atayina buyambi ali ku cement. Abantu bangi just know. Yes, the doctors are doing their work, but with a great challenge. Yeah, it is not easy. They are very busy. Yeah, this guy is here down. His head is swollen. No help, no support. Uganda is really in a bad state. This is a main hospital, one of the best hospitals in the country.
Before I share a response, I just wanted to share with you just a brief story of how I also experienced the same thing, because I was hit by thugs in 2020, March, to be exact, 8th of March, Women's Day, 2020. Then I found myself in Mulago, and the police people told me they couldn't take me in. First of all, they took me to Naguru Hospital. They told me they couldn't take me in because I didn't have a national ID on me. So they rushed me to Mulago. But Mulago, when I gained consciousness, because I was hit at around 10 p.m. in the night, on a Saturday night, but I gained consciousness at around 4 a.m. on a Sunday. That was at and then of course I realized that I was in the pews at the reception casualty area, but I couldn't trace where I was. I asked the nurse why I was not being attended to and where I was. She told me in Mulago Hospital, but we have run out of gloves, so you have to wait for morning shift for you to get any medication. The whole story short, I really spent there. I waited up to 7. I looked around to see if I could get any help. Nothing. The good thing, I had my car keys left in my pocket. So I went to the askari. I told him that I need to go and look for my car. I'm not getting any assistance here. So I was given leeway. They gave me the number plate of the police vehicle that had brought me and the number and phone number of the police officer. So I rushed out. I got a border. I knew that I had some coins to pay this border man because even my wallet and phone had been stolen, even my specs. Now, I found the car. They told me to go. Of course, they told me to get someone who can identify me. My brother Edmund came and helped me. Then it took us about 4 days to realize that I had 2 blood clots because I was hit. I had lost a tooth at the back. So that's where I was feeling most pain, not realizing that in these 3 days that I was on painkillers, to the extent I was given morphine also did not work on me. So that's when they realized there's something severe. When we did a CT scan, they realized 2 blood clots. That was that case, and this is a picture that was taken shortly after my surgery at Case. These are some of the photos at Case Hospital, because I did not get government hospital anyway, because everything had been lost. So I'm painting just the pictures that we need also the private insurance, much as we're going to hear also from the regulator, what he has to say. I'll also give you some solutions. So this was me, and I'm just sharing a picture that this can happen to anyone. If you have not prepared for it, I'm just thankful to God that I had some medical insurance that helped me cover these needs at the point that I most needed them. Okay, so that shared, let me also just share this small video with the regulator for us to understand what medical insurance is all about in this country. Thank you so much.
Erinnya lyange nze Stephen Kaddu Mukasa, nankola n'ekitongole kya Insurance Regulatory Authority of Uganda. Kino ekitongole kye kirondoola omutindo gwa insurance oba insua mu ggwanga lyaffe erya Uganda, era nga nviiridde mu department eya supervision nga nkola nga manager inspection oba kalondoozi oba manager alondoola emirimu egikwasaganya n'ebitongole ebitunda insurance mu Uganda. Insurance y'ebyobulamu basinga gye bayita insurance y'obujjanjabi, ye insurance omuntu ssekinnoomu gy'ayinza ofuna oba ekitongole gy'eyinza ofuna nga kyetangira oba kisasula kyetwandise premium eri insurance company okulaba nti ekintu kyonna oba obulwadde bwonna obugwa ku muntu nga yeetaaga obujjanjabi, insurance eno ejja oba ekozesebwa okulaba nga omuntu ono agikozesa okumuyamba mu kujjanjabibwa waba agenze mu ddwaliro. So generally oba okutwaliza awamu insurance eno eyamba omuntu agigula okulaba nga emuyambe nti waba afunye obuzibu ku bulamu bwe nga yeetaagisa okugenda mu ddwaliro, asobola okugenda mu ddwaliro n'akozesa insurance eno nga takutte mu nsawo ye. Mubimpimpi ye insurance ey'obulamu oba ey'obujjanjabi. Abasinga bagiyita nnyo nti ya bulamu kubanga ekwatagana ki na bulamu, nti omuntu aba alina okugenda mu ddwaliro n'akeberebwa oba aba afunye obuzibu ku bulamu bwe nga yeetaaga okulaba omusawo oba yeetaaga okukolebwako, so aba alina okugenda mu ddwaliro naye nga wabeera n'insurance eno eba emuyamba nti aba tagenda kukwata ki musawo kujja mu sente ze bakozesa ssente. Kyandibadde kirungi buli munnayuganda okufuna insurance eno ey'obujjanjabi oba ey'obulamu, kubanga ffenna tukimanyi nti obulamu bwe bugagga. Awatali bulamu mpozi omuntu ajja kubeera n'amaanyi gakola. So kyandikukakaseeko oba kyandibadde kikukakatako nti gwe ng'omuntu ogenda mu maaso n'ofuna insurance eno. Era kyandibadde kirungi okulaba nti buli munnayuganda akola ki agirina, era kyova olaba nti eggwanga ligezaako okuteekateeka okulaba nti mu maaso eyo buli muntu atuukibwako insurance eno y'obujjanjabi. Era nkiwa nti ekiteeso kiri mu Parliament okulaba nga insurance y'obujjanjabi oba ey'obulamu etuuka ku buli muntu mu ggwanga, kubanga kye kimu ekintu ekiyinza okulaba nti eggwanga lyaffe lino likulaakulana. Nga bwe tuli ekiseera kino oba nga bwe kiri kaakati, etteeka liri mu kubagibwa, balibaga liri abazungu baliyita ekyali bill, nga gavumenti ya Uganda yakiraba nti buli munnayuganda ateekeddwa okubeera oba okufuna omukisa okukozesa insurance y'obujjanjabi. So parliament yaffe yatuula ne kiteesaako nebaga etteeka lino okulaba nti liyisibwa era liteekebwa mu nkola ti buli muntu mu ggwanga atuukibweko oba asobola okukozesa insurance y'obujjanjabi. Kizuulibwa nti mu bulamu bwaffe tusoomoozebwa nnyo bigambo by'endwadde, era ebiseera ebisinga osanga abantu bafuna okusoomoozebwa nti oli alwala n'atasobola agenda mu ddwaliro olw'okuba takola ki, talina ssente. So gavumenti yagenda okukiraba nti eteeka ssente nnyingi nnyo mu bigambo bya malwaliro n'okujjanjaba abantu. So negamba nti okweggyako omugugu guno kegezeeko okuteekawo etteeka erinaayamba buli muntu mu ggwanga asobole okufuna insurance ey'obujjanjabi. Ekyo kijja kuyamba ku gavumenti nti bino ssente zeebadde eteekamu nti eri mu kujjanjaba oba eri mu kulabirira abalwadde, insurance companies oba ekitongole kyonna ekinaabeerawo nga kivunaanyizibwa ku nsuwa y'obujjanjabi kijja kuba kyekina obuvunaanyizibwa obwo okulaba nti abantu ba Uganda bajjanjabibwa. So okuddamu insurance y'obujjanjabi eggwanga ligitunuulidde era etteeka liri mu kubagibwa. Tusuubira nti mu bbanga eritali lyawala nnyo buli munnayuganda ajja kuba atuukibwako insurance eno era ajja kuba asobola ogikozesa. Kati omuntu yenna ayagala insurance y'obujjanjabi asobola okugifuna ye nga ssekinnoomu, kubanga mu Uganda tulina insurance companies oba tulina companies z'ensuwa ez'enjawulo nti omuntu aba atuukiridde kampani zino asobola okweteekerateekera nga ayogerezeganyizza ne kampani zino ez'ensuwa okulaba nga asobola okwetuusaako insurance eno ey'obujjanjabi. So nga bw'okibuuzizza, omuntu ssekinnoomu asobola okuteekateeka insurance eno n'abantu be ayinza okuba nga omuntu oyo alinako abantu abalala baalabirira, so asobola nabo bakola ki, obateeka mu insurance mu nsuwa eno ey'obujjanjabi. Then ekyokubiri nti waliwo tulina ebitongole bingi nnyo mu ggwanga muno bitadde abakozi baabyo mu nsuwa ey'obujjanjabi. So oli bw'aba tagenze nga ssekinnoomu asobola ate okukozesa, ayinza okuyita mu kitongole era n'ekitongole ne kimuteekayo ng'omukozi. Kuba tulabye nga abakozesa bangi batadde abakozi baabwe mu nsuwa eno ey'obujjanjabi. Naye ng'omuntu ssekinnoomu ye asobola okugenda n'agula insurance eno, asobola okutuukira insurance company yonna mu ggwanga. Kuba tulina insurance nnyingi nnyo mu ggwanga ezitunda insurance eno y'obujjanjabi. Osobola ogituukirira n'oteekayo, oba oyagala kweteekayo gwe nga ggwe, oba oyagala teekayo n'abantu abalala b'olabirira, ekyo kisoboka. Osobola otuula nabo n'obannyonnyola kikyoyagala era ne bakuwa ekyo kyennyini ky'obasabye. Insurance eno ey'obujjanjabi oba ogifunye eriko kye twandiyise benefits, eriko ebitambulirako oba ebigenderako eby'enjawulo. Tofuna insurance y'obujjanjabi eno osobola ekuyamba okugenda mu ddwaliro okusookera ddala, oba osobola okulaba omusawo mu kiseera kyonna ky'omwagalira. Ekyo kimu. Ekyokubiri, oba ofunyemu enkenyera yonna, katugambe ofunyemu obulwadde bwetegeeza ofunyemu omusujja, ofunyemu ekifuba, ofunyemu ssenyiga, ekitagenda kuweesa kitanda, osobola okugenda n'olaba omusawo mu ddwaliro lyonna nga muba mukkirizganyiza ne insurance company ekuwadde ensuwa eno. Then ekyokusatu, insuwa eno ebeekuwa omugaso nti osobola okugenda mu ddwaliro, katugambe ofunye akabenje, weetaaga okulongoosebwa, weetaaga okugenda okulaba consultant. Insurance eno eba esobola okutuusaako benefit eyo kye twandiyise inpatient. Ate kiri kye nasoose okugamba kyekya outpatient, nga bwe nagambye nti oli ayinza ofunamu akasujjasujja oba ayinza okufunamu kasenyiga nga tebagenda muwa kitanda, asobola okweza insurance y'obujjanjabi eno n'agendayo n'alaba omusawo era ne bamuwandiikira eddagala n'akola ki n'alifuna. Naye waliwo ekiseera nti wekijja okutuuka nti omulwadde yeetaaga okuweebwa ekitanda, era insurance eno ejja kuyamba okulaba nti olaba omusawo era ofuna ekitanda, era okiba kyetaagisa nti n'okulaba omukugu waka twandiise consultant, omukugu mu area eyo ekutawaanya, era ojja kukola ki, ojja kumufuna. Then ekyokuna, insurance eno etunuulira ku bigambo by'okuzaala, kubanga tumanyi nti bamaama baffe bagenda mu malwaliro balina okuzaala. So insurance eno ejja kuyamba okulaba nti ekyo kyonna ekikwatagana n'okuzaala oba okuzaalisa ejja kuba esobola okuyamba gwe ali mu kiseera ekyo ekituuse ng'ogenda kuzaala. Then tulinayo n'abalwadde b'amannyo. Insurance eno y'obujjanjabi eyamba nnyo ku by'amannyo, nti oba olina obuzibu mu mannyo tetwandiise dento, osobola okugenda n'okola ki, n'okozesa insurance. Then amaaso nago, abantu baffe bangi amaaso gabatawaanya, ng'olina insurance eno y'obujjanjabi osobola ogikozesa n'ogenda ne bakebera amaaso wegaba galinako ekizibu, era ne bakuwa katugambe oba galubindi oba bakuwadde eddagala. So insurance eno erina ebirungi bingi nnyo by'oyinza okufunamu obuki.
Okutwaliza awamu, you had Mr. Stephen Kadunabi, Mr. Mukasa Stephen, the inspection manager or officer of IRA. He spoke about the role of medical insurance. He spoke about also the government policy that is in the offing to make a national medical health scheme. There has been a bill that was proposing about 15,000 from every Ugandan. If we are 46 million Ugandans, there would be a body that would manage all that. But of course, still regulated by the Insurance Regulatory Authority. So he mentioned quite a number of things. Yeah, just, yes, I'm just giving that simple snippet so that you can relate with what he was mentioning. For those who don't understand Luganda, he was giving just a brief of how a medical insurance should look like. So there are a number of companies talked about. He talked about the corporate scheme. It is there, but majority of Ugandans are not in that formal institution. But of course, if you need, because insurance is informed, or the premiums that are charged are informed by the numbers. So the more you are, the cheaper it becomes. The more costly or the cheap wemukoma okuba abangi wekisinga wekikoma n'okuba nga kya layisi. Naye mumbeera nga muli batono, of course tugenda kulaba nga kibeera a little bit expensive. Naye nga waliwo figures musobola okugenda ku channel yange okenja kuba nga mbaweereza ebyo ebintu in future. But for now, njagala tu comparingeko kubanga luli twatunira ku insurance y'abakadde. Abantu myaka 6 mpaka 8 netukozesa Jubilee Health. Kati this time round njagala kukozesako companies endala tulabe family health oba insure y'omuntu wa family yo aba family yo oba oyagadde abantu ba family yo oba naye sekinoomu. As an individual, you can also take out an individual policy, but you can look at an example of a family group. This was a family of about 4 people. So this is an example of a group, a person who is in their 40s. Now this is the same quotation we shall use. We are going to use both UAP and Prudential's quotations so that we compare. And then you can make the judgment. But of course, depending on the services and also the benefits and the terms is where you will choose where to go. So this is an example of someone aged 40. There are always about 4 categories to choose from. We always start from the highest to the lowest. So if you have a package of a family of, this was a person having 40 years, his wife or their spouse is 35, then they have 2 children, for instance. And then the family is still producing. That is why they have chosen that maternity option. you are seeing here. So what are the covers he was talking about? He was talking about inpatient. Inpatient is hospitalization. Nga omwami Steven kyeyayogedde, mwami Mukasa kyeyayogedde n'agamba inpatient bw'oba nga bakugenda ku hospitalizinga tuyinza okuwa cover ya million 10 buli muntu nga buli family. Then outpatient is that when you are just getting general consultations or medications, you want to have, say, a cover of 5 million shillings per person. Then dental, the benefits are usually up here, then the premiums are down. Dental is 400,000 per person, and then optical of 400,000 per person. So, of course, for maternity, they also chose 4 million per family. Of course, only one person can become pregnant in a family, in a young, relatively nucleus family, where majority of us Ugandans fall. Okay, so this premium for this kind of category, you would find that because each category is charged separately, but of course the main cover is this inpatient. So you can't say that you're going to take out these other covers without the inpatient, but you can actually take out inpatient alone if you want. So the premium for this company, for this family is going to be 7.7 million. With the maternity, if they didn't want the maternity, they can just deduct the 800,000. We shall also see a disclaimer on the maternity. There's a waiting period when you come as an individual or as a family. If you're not corporate means you are 10 people and more. But below that, you can't be corporate. They put you in the family packages. So you would find 7 million here. The comprehensive option has 60 million, 3 million outpatient, dental 300, and optical 350, and then a maternity limit of 3 million. So this option would cost 5.5 million. So if we go down to the Mutuawansi level, there was let's just see, there was classic option. Classic option, yes, is here, 30 million. Okay, it is showing 30 million. And inpatient, 2 million outpatient, 200,000 dental, and 300,000 optical, and a maternity of 2.5 million. So this one is going to have a benefit, or the premium is going to be 4.4 million for the family, including the maternity. Remember, if you don't want maternity, you can just deduct it. And then the last one for Mutuawansi is the essential, where we are covering 15 million per family, 15 million 1.5 million per outpatient per person, and then 150,000 dental and 200,000 for optical. Then you have 1.5 million for maternity for this kind of family. So here the premium for this family of 4 is going to be 3.6 million. So here you are saying this footnote is very important. Maternity can be available in the second year of cover if one pays for it in the first year. Meaning, if you are planning, you have to plan accordingly when you are going to give birth. Kanchogera mu Luganda, omuntu yenna ayagala okuzaala olina okiplanningira n'okiteeka mu insurance yo nga bukyali. Olina okiteekamu at least mwaka gumu nga tonazaala. Si kujja mu insurance company ng'already oli lubuto n'ogamba ate njagala ne maternity option. Oba ozzenga family oba nga sekinoomu individual tojja kifuna, tekijja kusoboka. Naye oba maybe mu company kiba kisoboka nga mulina abantu abangiko, abantu 10 n'okuzidda waggulu. Corporate cover. Eyo sijja kujogerako leero. So of course zino benefits endala bazoogeddeko, dental cover, inpatient, ebyo byonna babyogerako. So exclusions nabyo bikulu. So eyo ye limit ya UAP Old Mutual. Katulabeko eya Prudential. Prudential nayo for same family kubanga ono customer yajja nafuna policy, nafuna quotation from these two companies na choosinga. Katulabe kye kyamuyamba making an option na kiyinza okuyamba. So these people of Prudential have at least these other limits. For them, they call them Royal, Elite, and so on. We shall look at each of them. So if here they also have the same limit of 100 million, they're talking about two people here, the children, you would find their premium each at 1.7 million. So meaning for two people, that will be 3.5. Now for the children alone, yes. Maternity, we also covered, of course, one person, and that would be 1.9 million. Yes, that is one person. And then last expense, 33.5 million. Remember, for last expense, the side was not so talked about. So, but it's also embedded in the policy somehow. So here we are seeing the main member was also 2.2 million. Yes, actually, this premium could be taking care of the spouse, the lady, the wife who also wanted maternity option. But here it covers also maternity of 6 million. Compared to the side, which was 5 million, this is 6 million. And then as expense, optical and dental is 1 million. Outpatient here is unlimited. This is a very special clause. So they were saying within this package, your limit is unlimited. It's really within the 100 cover limit. So you can try it out. That would be a very good option, 7.7 million. Of course, includes the taxes. You also have an option of elite, which is covering 80 million. And you're also covering maternity of 5 million. You're covering last expense of 3 million shillings. You're covering outpatient. Here has a limit of 6 million. Optical, we are covering 700,000 and dental also 700,000. So we are seeing that this package has a premium of 5.9 millions. So that is also, you can compare and contrast for you now to make, an informed decision. But of course, these are premium. You're getting high quality private hospitals. We shared with you the list, for instance, last time with Jubilee Health, more or less the same hospitals. I can also share the same, but it still won't make the same. Of course, these lists are reviewed, but over 400 service providers within the country. And there are also referrals in the East African region, should you be referred there. So there's also the premium coverage option, which was having an inpatient limit of 60 million. Then maternity of 4 million shillings. Last expense of 2.5 million. Last expense of the funeral. You can easily die in a hospital should nothing happen. Or, the doctors can also do their best, but really, life is in God's hands. So if God decides to call you, there's also some kind of mabugo. Then outpatient of 5 million shillings, and optical of 600,000, and dental of 600,000 as well. So here, the premium is going to be 5,041,000 for this option. The classic option has a limit of 40 million, maternity of 3 million, last expense of 2 million, 4.5 million for outpatient, optical 500,000, and dental. So this option will have a premium. How much you'll be paying will be 4.5 million. Now for Mutua Wansi, there are two other options. This is now Premier, has 30 million shillings for inpatient, maternity of 2 million shillings, last expense of 1.5, outpatient of 4 million, optical 400,000, and dental of 400,000. So the premium for this kind of family will be 4 million and 64,000. Then lastly, the essential, we're going to see, has this is now for real Omuntu Wawansi, has 20 million inpatient in case you're hospitalized. There's a limit of 20 million. And maternity of 1.5 million shillings. Last expense of 1 million shillings. So Fira Mabugo of Kakadekamo. Outpatient of 3.5 million shillings. Optical of 300,000 and dental of 300,000. So the premium for this kind of family would be 3.7 million. If you compare with the other one, This was 3.6, but more or less the same benefits. Okay, slightly more. Maybe here. Anyway, so this is now Prudential option. Just key to note, you always have to look at these footnotes. They're very important. So premium payment, of course, as per press release by the Insurance Regulator, Act 2017, subsection 2, premiums must be paid under the insurance contract on or before the date of inception of the policy. All premiums shown are on annual basis and payable annually in advance in Uganda shillings. The premiums are based on 4 lives. Of course, this has to be mentioned very well. So whichever your family level is, you have to declare to the person who's going to give you the quotation for them to give for you sufficient cover. Then cover is subject to a moratorium as follows. Moratorium, these are now what we call the waiting periods. Maternity, elective surgeries, chronic cover of 12 months. Now these three things, the maternity, elective surgeries, and chronic cover, there is a waiting period of 12 months. Meaning you can't have the existing conditions and say that you want them covered in the first year. No, you have to plan for them, and then in the second year you start benefiting from them. Much as you pay for them in the first year, that is very key to note. Organ transplant, 24 months. For organ transplant, issues of organ failures, if you have those kind of issues, if you want them, you will only benefit from them after 2 years on cover. You can't benefit from them in the first year or 2 years of cover. You have to wait for 24 months. Those are 2 years. Illness, COVID, hospitalization, that is 90 days. Okay, of course, COVID now has become more or less a done deal in Uganda or in Africa, but it can still crop up at any other time. Premiums are subject to medical underwriting process. So, what the premiums that I've showed you here are for standard life. We still have to subject you to a medical examination depending on your age, on your circumstances, on your medical history, whatever you have revealed to us in the quotation or in the application form. Persons aged above 50 and above will be required to do a prepaid medical examination. Of course, now if you are 50 and above, there will be some centers that the insurance company has to send you to do a medical examination and subject them to that report at your cost, because now this is not the cost of insurance, because now you have entered into medical insurance at a much later age, much as there's also that coverage for the seniors. Then premiums listed above are subject to training levy, insurance training levy of 0.5 and stamp duty. That is URA taxes. You can't deal with the taxes. So basically that is what the medical insurance looks like. I can't the list of service providers. I can share them, but they are always about 400. There are so many. There are always those specialties. There are those pediatricians. There are those who are dealing with orthopedics. There are bones. There are those who are dealing with children, ladies, name it. There are all those kind of specialists that can be shared at any one time. So with that, I'd like to thank you for your attention. Let us hope that you will also take action this coming year and not fall victim like these victims.
This is Mulago assessment part.
Till next time, I remain Emmanuel Sani Safali, bringing you the Promise Insurance Show. And for any questions and feedback, please raise your comments in the comment sections below as we wait to hear from these other insurers when we get to the TV side. Of course, each insurer has to talk about their own story. Thank you so much for your attention. Be blessed.